Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm so glad you all decided to join me today for this monthly manifestation meetup. We're going to go ahead and get started today. And if you can't hear me there, just let me know over here in the chat and I'll be sure to check that out. But I'm glad you all here with me today, checking out the monthly manifestation meetup. I hope everybody has had a great day, a great week, a great month, enjoying this content, enjoying what we're putting out here to everyone. So I definitely appreciate you all, and I appreciate the ones that'll catch this later. The whole intent behind the monthly manifestation was to bring each other together, get people on the same page in a space where we can use this to be able to manifest what we want in our realities. It's good to have other people connected with you as far as it goes with the actual manifestation process. So that is always good to have more than one person just on you. This is kind of a thing that'll keep us accountable, even myself, and keep us to continue to try and manifest what we're looking for in this reality. So I appreciate you all for taking time out your day. And I see people coming in, and if you're having any trouble with the audio or anything like that, if you can't hear me, let me know. I hopefully, well, if you can hear me, let me know in the chat, guys. Someone just let me know if you can hear me. You can press one, whatever it may be. Just let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And for the ones that may have not listened yet or seen it, this is what we're going to do. We're going to actually begin this time with the affirmation. So if you're in a good place that's comfortable, that's perfect to do that there. Or if if you not, you can always listen to it later. So I'm going to begin with the already recorded affirmations. That's how we're going to do it this time, as well as the meditation. This should take about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started here for you. I hope you guys will be able to hear this. It's the same ones that we were doing before, so you should be familiar. Let me know in the chat if you hear the affirmations. All right. So it looks like you guys can't hear the actual affirmations in through the Zoom speak system here, but that's okay because what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them out loud to you guys so we can get into the same vibe here. So regardless, we're going to make this happen. And once we go into this, then we're gonna have a song by Katrina. So she's gonna sing a nice little song to you guys. So you can be able to get that as well. So let's go ahead and pull these affirmations up. And I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content like I mentioned before and able to, have some people around you to help you get what you're looking for out here, in your family, your friends, and a space to feel comfortable with these beliefs that you have. So we're going to begin with the affirmations. And this is I manifest my dreams. My actions align with my values and priorities as I move closer to my goals. I believe in myself and my abilities. I am confident that I can accomplish great things if I'm willing to put forth enough effort. I cultivate mindfulness. I engage fully in the present moment. And I focus on one task at a time. I seek greater self-knowledge and awareness. I meditate daily. I make conscious choices, and I ask others for feedback. I line up with the support that I need to accomplish my dreams. I manage my time. I devote my resources, activities that add more meaning to my life. I take care of myself physically, mentally, and emotionally. I continue to remain focused on my goals and my dreams. I do not rush my goals or dreams. I take control of my own mind. I think positive thoughts. I believe in positive thinking. I will manifest my dreams. I persevere through obstacles. I use setbacks as learning opportunities. I always focus on the big picture. Now we're going to shift it directly into the meditation. I just like to get the energy right for this hour that you have of peace, tranquility. Many times we have a lot of other things going on that stop us from having peace or just a moment. So I'm going to go into the meditation. I just want to double check once again that you guys can hear me. Elisa, if you could, just let me know if you can hear me and hopefully the music behind. Can Okay. One moment, just remain there. We're going to get the music because I really want to get into this meditation. One moment. Okay, you guys should be able to hear it in a moment. Now, if you guys can hear that music, let me know.
I could at first, and then I think you turned it all the way down, or down too low.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go into the meditation here. So we're going to begin by relaxing. Sitting in a comfortable space, lying down, or sitting up. Take this moment of peace for yourself. Make yourself comfortable and at ease to fully experience the relaxation. Start by slowly inhaling for 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now hold your breath to a count of 5. 4, 3, 2, and let go of all tension now. Now slowly exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's get ready now to take another deep, slow breath. In now. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's do that one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Now let's imagine there's a white, calming light just above your head. And it's at the top of your skull, feeling very relaxed. Now this source of white calming light is representing your higher self. That is always near to you and always connected to your universe. Always there with the wisdom that you need to move forward. Always there to strengthen you with the connection to your higher self and your higher thoughts. By allowing this white calming light to gently start filling your body and help you to release all negativity and any remaining tension, worries, or any kind of negative energy. This white calm light travels down to your neck and shoulders, filling every cell in your body with calmness, positivity, and relaxation. This calmness travels throughout your whole body, keeping you in a positive frame of mind, keeping you connected to your higher thoughts, keeping you to float above this physical matrix and be able to see with your divine intuition. Now take a moment and continue to breathe and just focus on your breath. Now we will come back and as we come back, we remind ourselves of this connection to our higher selves. And remember that it's there at all times for protection, guidance, freedom, and true peace. And so it is. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that meditation. We had a bit of a difficulty with the music, but hopefully you heard the recording and now you're in a positive state. We did the affirmations, we did the meditation. Now we're gonna go directly into a nice song from Katrina. Like I said before, I like to make this meeting almost like a service. You know, it's Sunday. This is a different form of a service. Get you ready for the week. I'm gonna continue in one moment with Katrina's song. Stay with me, guys.
Good evening. I hope everyone enjoyed the mindful meditation for today. Now it's time for you to join in with me. We do apologize for the little wait time there, but I know everyone knows this one. I actually think we should turn this one into our new black national anthem. But hey, we don't want no one to kill our vibe, so join in and sing with me, all right? I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me for things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Yeah. I can feel your energy from two planets away. I got my drink, I got my music, want to share. But today I'm screaming, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Yeah. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Yeah. Mm. Y'all sing with me now. I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me for things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. I can feel your energy from two planets away. I got my drink, I got my music, want to share. But today I'm screaming, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Mm. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Mm. Yeah. Please don't kill my vibe. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Please don't kill my vibe. Yeah.
All right, all right, all right, all right. I told you this was going to be a service. Please excuse any technical difficulties you may have had, but we're going to go ahead and get into it with the teaching. Now, this is where I know it's not going to be any mistakes. I'm not the best technician or anything like that, but I do specialize in mind science and teaching this information. So I appreciate you all, and we're going to go ahead and begin. Now, the whole thing with the manifestation, and if you listen to the first lesson, one of the main things that I was focusing on was decluttering of the mind. The workbook that you guys received, as well as the book, The Power Mindset Mastery, it began with the first step being decluttering of the mind. Because in order to even manifest or get to a certain point where you're thinking more positive or thinking positive thoughts, you have to clear the space, and we're going to get into that more, and we're going to get into the science behind that today for the next 30 minutes here. So this is where the teaching part goes in. You can take notes if you would like, or re-listen to this, because you're going to find something new every time you get into this information. That's what happens with me. So with the decluttering of the mind, we went into like emotions and different clutter and things like that that's maybe holding us back. It might be old things that we believe about ourselves, or old things that people told us about ourselves. And like my book says, the stolen greatness. And I tie that into, someone taking away your innate ability to be great, your innate ability to come here and experience life to the fullest and be able to come for a purpose, or at least line up with the things that make you feel good day to day, moment to moment. A lot of times we get stuck in the past, a lot of times we get stuck in the future. But right now we're in the now, and right now you're doing something positive for your life, for your family life, and most importantly, for your soul. So since I was going into it, And with the decluttering of the mind, that was step one, because there's no point to, add on to anything if the space is not clear. Like before you build a house, you of course have to lay the foundation before you know put everything else there. So that's where we were at with step one. And good news, I decided to have these more often. It won't be any charge to you guys. We want to have this more often where we can meet up so I can really get into it and we can kind of build on each lesson in each month. So that's perfect, because I feel like I can't get everything in just these 2 visits. But what I wanted to focus on today, after the decluttering of the mind, one of the most important things is emotions. While manifesting, the emotions play such a big role in creating your reality, or just having emotional intelligence helps you out so much in life. I'm going to share my screen here with you guys with this quick PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, so we're going to begin here. We're going to begin here first with the emotions. All right. I told you guys I'm not the best with the technical part, but I definitely got the other instances. I just want to make sure everything was good on that end. Okay, perfect. So with the emotions, like I was saying, the emotions, it's always important to remember that the subconscious mind of every individual can easily be influenced, controlled, or suggestions from our own conscious mind or outside sources. And like I was saying before, what molds us into who we are is the thoughts that we think. It's the programming that we run upon. And this can come from education, environment, or other suggestions or anything, but it influences our behavior and the way we move day to day. Now, the function of the emotions in the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind causes you to feel emotionally and physical uncomfortably whenever you attempt to do anything new or different. So anytime we're about to try something new, our mind's whole job is to try, because really it's doing it as a survival mechanism. Our mind wants to keep the things the same because it feels as if it's protecting us by not doing anything that's unfamiliar. But the more we do things, the more we become familiar with it. You could be like, let's say you play games or something, or it's a new game, and once you get the controllers down, it's almost like you can do it automatically. You might be trying a new machine, and at first it might be hard, and next thing you know, you're doing it without even thinking about it because it's embedded in the subconscious. But initially, you will have a lot of resistance that will come up, a lot of thoughts that'll say, what is this? We're not used to this. And a good movie to watch too. It's a kids movie, but it really breaks down how the mind works and how emotions play a role. And I don't know if you've seen it. I know everybody pretty much got children here, and if you don't, okay, it's all good too though. You can check this out. It's Inside Out. And it's a cartoon. It's by Pixar, and it just really goes into that emotions and how it moves us, and when we try new things, what occurs. So it, it goes against changing any of our established patterns of behavior. you can feel your subconscious pulling you back towards your comfort zone, and that's usually when the thoughts come up. Or the with me personally, it can be like procrastination. To procrastinate right when I think of a new idea or a new thought or something new I want to do, my mind will go into, you just chill, or that's too much. But that's exactly the point where we should push through, because if we push through that unfamiliar space, it will eventually become familiar, and the more we do it, it embeds it in our mind. um and like it says here, like one of the biggest habits of successful men and women is always stretching themselves. And I feel that's important, because we only got one life to live. A lot of times we get stuck at, this is who we are, and that's all I can do, and other people see you that way. But at the end of the day, we only got one life in this particular body to explore and learn. And I feel that's what we came here to do: learn and stretch ourselves and do new things. And stepping out of that comfort zone, because eventually it becomes familiar. Now, as we move on here, like, some of the emotions that really hold you back, that really, really push us down and take over us, and makes it hard for us to continue on and build up more momentum, because we're stuck in these emotions here. So revenge, and sometimes I'm not telling you like what emotions to feel and not to feel, but just what some of these emotions do. We all feel these, so we're not even looking at it from that standpoint of you're not supposed to feel it. I don't trying to be positive 100% of the time is also a negative, and not many teachers say that, and not many people say that, because what you'll do is you'll just always be try and be in a positive state all the time, and that becomes a routine, and almost keeps you at almost a low level, because you're always trying to fight yourself to think positive. Sometimes negative thoughts will creep in, intrusive thoughts will creep in, and when these intrusive thoughts creep in, know that it's normal. Know that everybody's doing this, and no matter what they try to tell you, everybody's doubting themselves at some point or showing fear, because that's a natural way of the human, in this system that we live in this earth. So don't feel bad, but try to know what to do next when you feel those, like things like revenge, dwelling on thoughts, trying to get back at people, and things like that takes up time and space in your mind, that could be put there for some type of movement towards what you really want to happen. But I don't know. Some people might want revenge, or that might make them. But I would suggest, to kind of not take things too personal and dwell on it too long. Having envy. Um, Envy can hold you down, because we all know what envy does. Hate, you know, really is poison to the person that's doing the hating. So envy is never, I can't see when that's a good situation. You may honor someone or look up to someone, but being envious only keeps you at a low level, and the hate is a poison to self. But and this is a good one here also. So like when we go into the emotions of like blame and putting it on other people, and this can be other people, or this can be, and I fell victim to this, and I like to get personal with it sometimes, so you can know that I'm a normal person, but I just continue to study this information and use it, change my life. So the next thing you do is teach it. But blaming the system, that's a good one. Blaming the system, blaming other people, other races, that's a big level right there. Blaming the earth, God, the devil, whatever it may be, those different things there. Blame never puts you anywhere, because we're creating our own reality. So while we're blaming others, we're the ones that's bringing the good and bad into our world. So I started off, I was blaming everybody, blaming the matrix, blame whatever I could find that was going against the way I was feeling. But when I did some introspective thoughts, I said, okay, yeah, that exists, but that's not something that's going to hold me back from doing what I'm supposed to do in this life. And I think that's a good mindset to have with that. And as I always like to mention, meditation, that's one of my go-tos. because meditation is it just gives you that moment to be able to focus on your higher thoughts and the things that are coming to you. And that's a good place to get like downloads of information that you may have not been thinking about consciously. That's a good time where, good ideas come, and you may find a new way to handle a so-called problem, or get some motivation. And don't and another thing with it, if you're a beginner to meditation, your mind's probably going to still continue to race, but just observe it. Step back and be the observer of your thoughts as they flow in. So now we're going to go into, we all got different types of meditation that we do. You'll be able to see the screen and everything when I send it to you guys. But mindfulness meditation, that's where you're actually in the aware and in the present moment, like fully engulfed in that, and that's so powerful. Breathing awareness, that's kind of what we did then with the guided meditation. And the breathing part of it, the guided meditation is also good because that's another way to reprogramming the subconscious. What you're while those tones that we were listening to before, that was to remove negative energy, the tones, and replace it with positive vibrations, and just let go of anything that may have been riding you or holding you back. But yeah, so meditation is I always go with that. That's my go-to. That brings you back and resets you, and you be able to go out there and handle the day. It's best done in the morning, but anytime you can push it in, that's great. So we got those are some more different types of meditation. We're going to go ahead, and of course we know the benefits of it: a calm mind, good concentration, better clarity, improved communication, relaxation and rejuvenation. And the health benefits is it lowers the blood pressure, it helps with the immune system, especially during these times with everything they got going on the outside, saying people that's being affected that way. And meditation also improves your immune system, so you can push through during these times doing that. And if you see all these benefits, I think it'd be great to continue to try it, because at first it may be hard, but continuous repetition of it when you can. Because I know sometimes I forget my meditation, forget to do it, but if you can, just know that has all these benefits, including increasing your energy level, and gaining an inner source of energy, that reset. Okay, so now we're going into so now that we went into the emotions, now I want to go into the science, because a lot of times when we hear these things, yes, it sounds good, as far as it goes with our actual, creating our thoughts and emotions and what it means. But now we're gonna go directly into the science behind it, which is the neural pathways here of the mind. Now, the neural pathways is basically like the neurons that fire off when we're doing things that we're familiar. So like we were saying before, I'm gonna show you how this all ties in. Like we were saying before, it's basically like your neural pathways is like a path that your body takes to your certain patterns, habits, and things that you're used to doing. And that's why when we try to do new things, it's not really firing off in the mind, because it's new. It's a new path. It's just like when I'm from the country, so when we take paths, the more we walk on that certain path, the more clear the way gets. The more we think a thought, or the more we do a task or do things towards what we're trying to make, the more clear that path gets. And the mind works the same way when it's firing off. You can your mind is soaking in the whole experience at all times. The five senses we can create. It basically is like the images, the smells, how you feel, everything goes into every experience that we have. And new ones can make us go more into flight mode, I would say. But we have the ability, and that's what science is finding out. So this is what's the science behind what we known for years, and so many ancient masters talk about the power of the mind, the subconscious mind, but now it's a lot of sciences behind it that's going into it, which we didn't need them to confirm it, but it always depending on what type of learner you are, you may want to have this information instead of just a lot of talk about it. But they found out that you have the ability to change your brain through neuroplasticity. So certain paths that you walked before, it may not be the same paths that you walked 5, 10 years ago in school, or when you were younger before you had children, whatever it may be. You know, you person has to have a growth mindset. That's why things that we used to do don't appeal to us no more, because we don't walk that path any longer. When someone say that, they mean it in a form of their neural path. We don't walk that path anymore. So a fixed mindset, and some people have a fixed mindset. You run into people that are stuck at one time. They don't want to really grow and expand themselves. So, you know, they're still fixed with that. And even when you bring positive information or positive opportunities, they may not take it. Or same with us sometimes. And that goes back to the fact that their mind is not, you know, it's making them comfortable where they're at, and doing the new is hard. So a fixed mindset. So this is just some this is just some examples here. If you're reading it, people who have struggled in school may conclude, for example, that they just aren't cut out for college, so they end up in a low-paying, non-engaging job that doesn't stimulate their brain to form new connections. Their beliefs become reality because running that limited statement over and over again created a very strong enforced neural pathway, eventually reaching neurons connected to all parts of their lives. So just something simple as, and that's a system thing, when you're going into college, or you and I go to college and you can't be successful, whatever it may be, that's a systematic thing. And that goes back into stolen greatness, believing that that's what you deserve, or believing that's all you have the ability to do. Like you say, so they end up with a low paying job, non-engaging job, and don't stimulate the growth. So it's a belief in yourself, and that goes back to blame. It really ends up just being us when we all see it. But just like this is how your mindset grows, or as we go through different stages in our lives, how we expand ourselves. Mom, let me get a drink real quick. Okay, and newborn babies, the same way newborn babies learn, they learn through developing senses and interactions with the world. And this process become increasingly complex as we progress through life. As our thoughts become more layered, it can become challenging to remain open to new ideas or continuous learning. Other priorities take over, and it can be difficult to take on new concepts. In order to do this, we have to be in the right place psychologically, and this is why developing the growth mindset can be useful. And just a simple breakdown of that, where it goes into how a newborn baby, learns and develops through their senses. As you watch your child get older, you'll see them learn, okay, if I do that, this is what happens. If I do that, this is what it is. And we're kind of molding their personality. And like they said, your child's first teacher is you, and your child's first thoughts are your voice of what we put into them. And then, and it's not always easy, but so the brain is made up of the neurons. These connect or communicate with each other via, like synapses at birth. Every neuron in the cerebral cortex of the brain, and don't worry about these big words, that's just different areas of the brain, has an estimated 2,500 synapses by the age of 3. This number has grown to a whopping 15,000 synapses per neuron. The average adult, however, has about half that number of synapses. So because we learn or experience new things, some neuron connections are strengthened while others are eliminated. This process is known as synaptic pruning. So that's what they're going into with the science, and they're learning about how we change our brains and how we create new synapses. So something you may have did a long time ago, if you stop doing it, it's going to eventually go away. That's why I said we go from 2,500 to 1,500, then we go down, as we increase and go do different things, or we can go up. So neural pathways that are frequently used develop stronger connections. This means the less we have to think about what we're doing, the result is getting a better with the skill or a set of skills. Neural pathways that are not frequently used end up dying, like I was just saying, by developing new connections and pruning away weak ones. That's so important. Getting rid of the weak things that's in our mind that keeps us at a limited state. And we all can be honest with ourselves and face our shadows of that and be able to create something new for ourselves. And eventually the manifestation takes place. The more we, and that's what all of this was about. I wanted to go into the emotions, then I wanted to go into what holds us back with the emotions, and how we had the ability to change our pathways and the science behind that. So that's the end of that slideshow. And what we're going to go into next, we're going to actually go directly into, because I said this one's going to be about manifesting. So that's the main thing that we're speaking on, but that kind of gives you another breakdown. Now, the manifestation aspect, we're going to go into some techniques that we can use so you guys can be able to, leave this with something tangible that you can use. We got the science, we got the emotions. The first one we talked about the changing of our mind, the decluttering of our mind. And if you check out your email, and if I don't have your email, I'll send it out. But if you check out your email, it has that workbook. If you haven't done it as of yet, it really helps out with the decluttering of the mind. But so now we're going to go into techniques. We got about 10 minutes here. So I'm just going to go over about 9 different techniques that you can use that's going to help you throughout the month of July to kind of get your goals set up, or rewire yourself to what you want. We all want to expand, we all want to grow, we all want more out of life. So one of the first things is visualization, of course. See, with visualization, it's all about getting that actual feel that you're doing it. Like visualization is so important, because the science behind that as well is that while we're visualizing things, and while we're actually doing certain things, it's the same things as we're doing. Like when we're doing the same certain things, when we're visualizing it, and then when we're actually doing these things, it becomes the same neurons or the same pathways are firing off while we're doing that. You remember we went into the neural pathways? See, that's the science behind it. But they found out that you visualize yourself, and they do it with a lot of athletes and improve their skills with it. So you visualize yourself playing the sport, doing this, or doing whatever you do in that particular sport. And what they noticed is the same pathways was firing off just from a person visualizing it, and the same pathways were firing off when a person was actually doing it. So, and they even showed signs of improvement in a lot of the athlete skill set with that. So it's good to like go into a visualization exercise, or just take a moment, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just kind of set your intent and see what you want to see. I'm not the best at it myself, I'm gonna be honest. So what I use is mind movies, or like a video with the image already there. I noticed that helps me out a lot too, and I kind of put the emotion behind it as well. So another thing is, another technique after the visualization is in intention point shifting. So intention point is basically like where you're changing your intention, or you're putting your intent, you're suggesting your intention that you want the day, your life, or your situation to go. You always have a motivation behind it, or a certain intent of why you're actually doing it. It's the meeting ground between it's the meeting ground between your heart and your mind, that intention point. So a lot of times we forget what we even doing things for. A lot of times we forget why we might be going to this job, and what was the intent, or what was our actual goal of getting it. Sometimes we get caught up in the same rhythm of things and just do it. But what was the original intent when it started? What was the original purpose? And then let's shift it if we need to. At that point, let's shift to a different point that we're looking at or coming from. And another one is another manifestation technique is questioning your own beliefs. And that goes back into decluttering of the mind, or certain programs that it was ran on. Or why do I believe this about myself? A real self discovery, a real digging into the shadow of ourselves, and seeing like, why do I even act like that? Is that because of something I heard when I was younger? Is that something that people told me? Is that coming from me, or is this someone else? It is we just have to ask ourselves sometime, why do I even believe that? And sometimes you end up coming back full circle, and that belief still works for you most of the time. But another thing is, and a lot of people don't really understand this, but like connecting with certain objects. You know how people always say things like they have like a good luck shirt, or a good luck this and that. It's actually some benefit to that, because like, for instance, if you wear a piece of jewelry, when you look down at that jewelry, you may remind yourself of the intent you put behind that jewelry, or where it is. That's why a lot of people wear stones and different crystals and things like that, because you have the ability to be able to program, or they have an effect on your energy. So like wearing a certain shirt, wearing certain colors, dressing up, even if you dressing up and acting a part of who you want to become. All of these are manifestation techniques. Now, like I said, manifesting takes work, and it's different truths for different people. But connecting with an object is good, and jewelry real good. Or like with me, I might put a shirt on that says something like health, wealth, and wisdom, or something. Just reiterating things to yourself, making your environment conducive to what you're trying to create. The other thing is a vision board. That goes back into that, to the visualization, that goes back into the mind. um, that goes back into the visualization, and the mind movies that I was saying. But having it up in a clear space, or somewhere where you'll see certain things a lot, certain images or things that you want, where you'll continue to see it over and over. It starts to become a pattern or a routine to you, to have those things. And that's always a good one as well. We're coming up on about 5 more minutes here, and we're going to end it for today. But I'm going to go into the last three techniques here, and then we're going to go into one that I've been using, and one that I suggest that we use for together through the rest of the month of July. But we were in vision boards. So vision boards is just basically putting things from magazines and internet, print out things that you want, and putting it on your wall. Me and my queen, we did this, and I swear everything that was on that vision board, we got it. You know what I mean? In different ways at different times. And I didn't notice it until I actually went back to it. And then that's when I really realized, what was going on here. But working on turning negatives into a positive, that's another great way. Doing things like showing gratitude with the negatives and the positives that come into your life. Even some of the challenges, it's a blessing behind that. But the connecting your like having like a gratitude journal, just write down things that you thankful for. And I'm going to send that to you all as well. A gratitude workbook, or part of the workbook is showing gratitude. Now, this is a good one here, and I'm just getting started with this one as well, but I think it'll be good, to kind of mention this one. But a focus wheel. So I'm just going to kind of read this one though. But a focus wheel is simple. but highly recommended way to shift your focus to more positive thoughts and attitudes when it comes to the things you want to attract. Grab a piece of paper, draw a small circle in the center, and write out what you want. Say financial freedom, a partner, your own business, or good health. Next, write down a positive belief that you have about that particular subject. Placing this belief around the edge of the central circle. So with the goal of starting a new business, for example, you might write the positive belief, I have a great education and how to plan the business. So it puts you in the momentum shifts when we start telling ourselves these things or focusing on that. Keep going, writing as many positive beliefs as you can find, always around the circle. Eventually your page will be full of statements that support your belief and the reality you want to see. If you like to add this focus wheel to your vision board, that's perfect. Or just on the refrigerator, or if you like to be private like me, put it put it in a notebook that you're gonna go to, or your desk or wherever, or in the bathroom and things like that. And then the last technique here, or another manifestation techniques. I had a recent modeling modeling show that I spoke at, and I went into this with the clothing a little earlier, but in cloth cognition, basically like dressing the part that you want, creating and just creating an almost like an alter ego, because this alter ego will be what you'll go to of the person you're trying to become. Eventually you'll become that. Now I know ego kind of get thought of the wrong way, but this alter ego, like sports athletes and different things, use that, like Kobe with Black Mamba, Beyonce, Sasha Fierce, people go into different alter egos because you're able to do things that you may not have done just as Rick, or just as whatever you see yourself as. You can shift that, but it's all still you. It's not like anything coming inside you or channeling. It's still you, but the view of yourself may change because of that alter ego. But walk with the posture, feel it, practice it. And you got to go almost back to like when we were in childhood, and the make believe and the pretending comes as powerful signals to the universe, or to your, what we say before, neural pathways. Create new neural pathways of, oh, that's who he is, or that's who she is, and build from there. Now what we're going to do here next is, I just wanted to go into one of the last things here, was going to be the it's going to be the manifestation technique that I would like to use for the month of July. Just try it for the rest of the month. Even if you don't get all of those, or go back and listen to it later, and we learn techniques. But this has really been good with me, and we'll end it on this note here. But the 369 method. So the manifestation 369 method. What it is writing, the basic breakdown of it is writing the affirmations that we created from the first setup. Get creative with your affirmations, do it your way. And what we do is we write it down. So throughout the day of what we want. So it's 3 times in the morning, 6 times midday, and then 9 times at night. And once again, what we're doing is embedding that into our subconscious, this 369 method. So first you have to decide your manifestation, and it's good to have a journal. That can be that same actual journal that you had with the gratitude journal. You can put this in there, or you can get an actual workbook like we have. But you just write it down 3 times in the morning. So the key to the success with the manifesting anything is to focus on the feeling, the energy, like the thoughts towards it, as we discussed before. All this will come together with this scripting, or writing of the affirmation. And this is some of the tips for it is: be sure to speak in the present as if the manifestation is always yours. Like, don't use things such as I will or I want. You know, say it like you already there. You remember this, your alter ego. You already living that. We already there. It might take a while, but we already there naturally in our minds. That reality exists somewhere in this infinite possibilities of the universe. So we already got it. We already done with July and got that done, and now we moving on to more and more and building the momentum up. So another thing is do not obsess with the manifestation. You know, just always thinking about it and always on to kind of do your work, do your techniques, do your rituals or your routine, and put it out there to the universe. Let it go, putting trust into it, being consistent. So the consistent part plays a good role. Sometimes you miss it. Don't beat yourself up too bad, you know, when you don't do it. But being consistent is what really gives it power. Just trying it once or twice, it may not have that much of a powerful effect. So being consistent. And if you feel negativity or self-doubt creeping in when doing the 369 manifestation, realize that that's coming from your mind trying to keep you safe on what it is now. To It's a new zone, it's a new comfort zone. So like I said, the mind will fight you trying to keep it the same. You may struggle to match the energy, and that's fine. Just continue to do it with that repetition. It will continue to come to you. The repetition will make it more and more easier. So just a quick breakdown of what we got here and just a recap of what we did. So we went into the affirmations, the meditations, Katrina's song, and we're gonna work on the audio aspect of this. We're gonna get that together. Like I said, that's not my specialty, but I'm learning. And then we went into the science behind the emotions and the neural pathways. Great movie to watch is Inside Out, the Pixel movie. I would say that's a good movie to check out. To kind of go over what I just said. Watch it with your child. They got it on Hulu. So it's available on Hulu right now. So that's a good place to watch that at. And then once we went into that, we just went over the certain techniques that you can use to manifest, as well as the 369 method. And I appreciate you all. Appreciate You should thank yourself for doing something positive like this to go in a positive direction. You're already showing that you're willing to stretch yourself, and this may be out of your comfort zone even hearing this information, but holding it down, and you've been here the whole way, and I appreciate you all. And we're going to end on that note. Once again, it's Prestige and Katrina here. Mind alignment. You all enjoy the rest of your night and evening. Thank you. Peace.